Hi, my name is Slavomir and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. In part 1 I completely disassembled this Saxon watch with ZCQ Chinese movement. Today it's time for the assembly, step by step, and hopefully we will see it working again. We will start with the barrel, insert the train bridge into place under the microscope, add the click, ratchet and crown wheel, set the pallet fork, switch to the dial side for the keyless work, fit the balance for the first stick, and finally finish with the dial, hands and casing. I will begin with the barrel as a power source of the movement and secure it with the barrel bridge. For oiling I'm using Molykote DX paste, Mobius 9010 and HB 1300. Now I'm securing the center wheel bridge. Oiling using HB 1300 and attaching the barrel bridge. A little bit of HB 1300, and now we move to the train bridge. It might look simple in many YouTube videos, but in reality it is a slow and sometimes frustrating process. Getting every pivot into place under the bridge takes patience, and mistakes are part of the journey. Now I'm adding second wheel. All fit perfectly. And now escape wheel. As you might remember from the part 1 of the restoration, the pivot on the escape wheel got damaged. I got new wheel from donor movement. As you can see, everything here is very delicate and it's very easy to make a mistake and damage the pivot again. Now I'm adding the train bridge. Every single pivot has to fit perfectly to the jewel hole. I apply gentle, very gentle pressure on that train bridge. It's more like holding it in place. I like to do it under microscope because then I can exactly see when the pivot is in gel. It takes time to have everything in place. As you can see, my escape wheel is not working correctly. That shows that the pivot is not in place yet. I will rotate the movement and try again. In the comments under the part 1, someone asked me if it's really worth to repair this watch. And honestly, No, it's not worth the time. This movement cost maybe around, I don't know, 20 euro on AliExpress, so it doesn't make sense to spend hours in it. But from other hand, it's perfect movement to learn watchmaking. It's cheap, parts are easy to replace, and you don't have to worry about damaging something expensive. The layout is simple enough to understand the basics, but still challenging enough to practice handling small components and solve the assembling problems. So, while it might not be worth it as a watch, it's definitely worth as a learning experience. And now, everything sits in place. Now it is ready to put screws onto the bridge. It's always worth, before you tighten the screws, check again if all pivots are in place. I will add some oil to the jewels. Now we move to the click. With the train bridge in place, I can add the click, the ratchet wheel and the crown wheel. These are the parts that allow winding and keep the mainspring from unwinding. Now I'm fitting the small click spring. And the click itself. Secured by the screw. Now ratchet wheel and the crown wheel will be next. I have some dirt on the crown wheel. I will use Ridico to remove it. It is important to keep the parts as clean as possible. That screw is a bit damaged. Later on I replaced that screw. I got it replaced from the donor movement, which looks much better than that one. Anyway, it does the job. Now move to the Pallet Fork. It's a small but crucial piece. It controls the transfer of energy from the gear train to the balance wheel. Now I'm fitting the Pallet Fork bridge. And check if the Pallet Fork works. For stones on the Pallet Fork, I'm using Mobius 9415, just a gentle touch on the top of the jewel. Let's flip to the dial side and work on the keyless mechanism. This is what allows the crown to switch between winding and setting the time. And while we are here, I would love your feedback. Since I'm just starting the channel, would you prefer more detailed, longer videos like this one? Or shorter ones that only shows the key moments? Your comments would really help me improve. Also, if you are enjoying this restoration so far, please give the video a like and subscribe. It makes a big difference in helping the channel grow. Now I'm fitting the winding pinion and the clutch, oiled by the DX paste, Molykote DX paste. I will fit the stem to hold everything in place. Now attaching the set lever. And yoke and the yoke spring. It's very easy to lose that spring. This is why we have to be very careful. Don't use much pressure on it and, if possible, secure it. I will use a plastic tool just to hold it in place, and I can attach the spring to the yoke. I'm using HP 1300 to add a little bit of oil. And now is the cover with the spring. I don't know why the screw is blue. It looks like it was replaced by previous owners. In the Chinese movements, it's simple because the screws are very alike. We can swap them. If the length is fine, they will work. I'm using some HP 1300 just to oil that spring a little bit. All works fine. Now I can fit the intermediate wheel. Followed by a minute wheel. Just a little bit of oil and I can add an hour wheel. I attach cover plate to hold intermediate wheel in place. Now I'm moving to balance wheel. I'm checking the balance wheel under the microscope. The hairspring is clean, the coils are evenly spread. Yeah, the balance wheel looks fine. Fitting balance wheel is not a simple process. Sometimes you will have to remove it, refit it, to make sure that the small jewel will fit exactly to the pallet fork. Then, yeah, I was lucky this time and it fit in the first go. I will wind the watch to see if the balance wheel will start working. Yes, we can see working movement. I'm securing balance coke with the screw. And all looks good. Ready for dial and hands. As the dial has no feet that I can screw into into the movement, I will use the stickers, the same as they were attached before. Now I just need to align the dial, and with movement running I can fit the hands. An hour hand, I'm using the cheap Chinese pressing tool, but it does the job. I like to set the hour hand at 3 o'clock and fit the minute hand. I gently press and the same using the hand press tool to fit it in place. Now it's time for second hand. For this type of Chinese movement, 20 seconds per day and 255 amplitude are okay, are not too bad. The beat error is high, 21 milliseconds. I think that's expected on that price level. That doesn't stop the watch from running. And I prefer focus on maybe rate tweaks rather than risky beat error adjustments. Let me know what you think in the comment. Finally, I can fit the complete movement into case. I will fit the copper o-ring and the stem with the crown. Clip the back case. And here, it's a fully assembled, ticking and nicely working egg again. The Saxon watch has come back to life. Thank you so much for watching the second part of the restoration. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more watch projects. And I will see you in the next video.